Good morning, YouTube. Well, I want to talk about Queen Sugar. This is episode 3. So the first two, the premiere was in 2 parts, but they consider that parts 1 and 2. So we're now actually on episode 3. Okay, so it opens up with Vi and Hollywood in bed. You know, they had fallen out, and he was out on the rig. And then there was an explosion on the rig. I guess he works on an oil rig, and she didn't know if he was dead or not. But that threw them into each other's arms. They were actually, both of them were longing for each other right before that, but they were missing each other on phone calls and so forth. Anyway, so these two are banging, screwing, or whatever the nice language is, all through this episode. They spend most of the time in the bed. Okay, so Charlie comes to pick up Micah from Nova's house. You know, he goes to school. I guess it's some kind of middle school. And he still lives on the farm, but he spends most of his weekdays with Nova because she lives in town, and the school is near downtown. So anyway, he's been staying over there. Charlie comes to pick her up. Nova tells Charlie, his mother, that the kid is having a very hard time after being arrested, and that he's not talking and he's hardly even eating. She needs to spend some time with her son. Okay, Ralph Angel. All right, Ralph Angel invites this his parole officer. I don't know what you call that invitation. Probably the parole officer has to come there anyway. Anyway, I guess him and the parole officer are kind of friendly. They seem to be friends now. And that does happen. I was kind of friendly with my parole officer when I finally started reporting. When you're doing right, they're there to support them. Anyway, he calls the parole officer over to his house, and he sits there and he shows him this will, this handwritten will that he has, you know, on regular lined paper that his father wrote out, which supersedes the other will, leaving the land to all 3 siblings. So it looks like, and the parole officer tells Ralph Angel that it looks like he has a pretty solid case. So the situation is, it could be that Ralph Angel actually is going to own the land exclusively, the one male in the family. But Charlie is running it like it's her farm, or she's certainly the majority holder in it. So she's not even aware of this handwritten will. They do give you a little peep at the end, and it looks like they're going to expose that next week. But anyway, next thing is Blue. Blue is the kid. Blue is playing out in the yard, and he hears this, like a helicopter kind of thing. At first I thought it was like a toy helicopter, a kid's helicopter or something. You know, those electronic gas-powered things that fly around. But it's actually a drone. And they don't show Blue knocking it out of the air, but somehow or other the drone crashes. Well, Blue is following the drone. It crashes, and then his father hears him yell. Ralph Angel runs out, sees the kid's okay, and he finds this crashed drone with a camera on it. So apparently the Landrys are spying on this land. The Landrys want this land desperately. They used to own it. I forget how the story went, but somehow or other, these people were slaves to the Landry family back in the slavery times. And somehow or other, they got left a good parcel of land, which runs right through the land that the Landrys run now. It's a huge farm. But they got a nice piece of land right through the middle of it, so they want this land. Okay, so Ralph Angel returns the drone to the younger Landry boy. They get into it, and it gets kind of tight. They don't hit each other, but they come very, very close to that. They nearly come to blows. Davis. Okay, the next thing, they come back. So I'll pick that up in a minute. Okay, Charlie visits Davis. Davis lives in this grand loft type place. I don't know what he's even doing there, really. So Davis, is he from that same small town where they live? I don't know. But I thought he lived in Los Angeles. You know, he's a rich man, but he lives in Los Angeles. But from what they're presenting, he's got this grand loft there in town. So anyway, she goes to him. Last week we learned that he wants joint custody of Micah. She is resistant to that, or at least initially she was. So let me see what happens. She tells him she'll never let that happen, which is not true. But okay, so he has some leverage with her because she says she's not going to allow it to happen, right? So that the divorce cannot be finalized until she agrees to the terms. And as she's leaving, he tells her, "I know you forged my name on the documents to get the loan." She stops, you know, she's behind her. He's behind her. She stops, you know, because she has done something that is wrong and illegal. He could press it very easily, but he's not being that aggressive. He has a legitimate thing. He wants joint custody. I mean, the kid is 16 years old, so I mean, we're talking about 2 years, and most of the time he'll be in school anyway. But at a later time, a couple scenes go by. She comes back there with him. Charlie decides that Hollywood and Vi want to screw so bad that they need to leave their house. Now, this is kind of a weird scene because they pack their bags. Hollywood and Vi are laying on the couch making out, right? Or just kicking back. They come and announce that you guys need to be alone. That's what Charlie tells Vi. This is Vi's house. I don't know if it's on their land or not, but they are packed. She said, "Time for me to get my own place." So they're already packed. I don't know where they're supposed to be going. Is she going to go and look for an apartment while he waits in the car? I don't know. I don't get that. It seems like there is no destination for Charlie, although she decided she wants to leave and give them their privacy, and they really do kind of want that because they're hot. And I believe that Hollywood said that he doesn't want to go out on these work junkets anymore. He wants to be there in relationship with Vi. And whether that means it stopped short of him proposing marriage. He didn't say marriage. And when they showed them together, they showed them at her house. So I don't know if that means he would move in with her or just be close by. But he doesn't want to go out on these work junkets anymore. Okay, so Charlie, she takes Micah to his father. She breaks down and says, "Okay, we'll give this a try. As long as you don't fuck up, we'll try to split the custody." So while she's moving out, it's time for her to get her own place and all that, she takes and drops Micah off at the house, at Davis's house, which is fabulous loft. Right, so we don't know where she's going to live. I don't know if she's going to move in with Nova or what. More will be revealed. Okay. Nova. Now, I don't want to brag, but last week I did predict, actually from the first week, we've only seen 2 episodes. I said there's a reason they are showing Nova with all of these white dudes, and then her being miserable after the sex, her not even wanting conversation after the sex kind of thing. She's not connecting with these guys, but there's something there. I thought initially that maybe she had a bad experience with a black man, and so she was not into black men anymore. And then they showed us the barber, which is a hint that, okay, she had been in a relationship with somebody black. But, no, this is the real thing. I guess then I said, she's going to get in a relationship, a serious relationship, and he's going to be black. Watch. Or they wouldn't make such a big deal out of her being with all these white guys. So more will be revealed as to why she ended up being that way. But she goes off to this, is it a panel? She's going to talk on this panel, right? For mass incarceration. She's very interested in this mass incarceration thing, legislation and so forth. And there she meets a guy, dark-skinned black man, good-looking guy. There's energy right from the beginning. So I said they're gonna have to give her a love interest. Everybody else has got a love interest. She's gonna have to have one as well. So she meets this guy. They're both activists. They have a little bit different take on the situation, and she kind of has debate with him on the air in this panel. But he likes her, and he asks her out. Okay, so there's a lot of energy. Like I said, those other guys, there was no real energy there. There's a lot of energy between her and this man. The man is a doctor. What's his name? Doctor somebody. Is that written down here somewhere? Dr. Dubois. Dr. Dubois. Keep that name in your mind. Okay. Next thing happens is the Landrys send these guys to steal cane from the farm. Now I don't know if are they actually stealing cane that has been harvested already. I don't know how they do much damage that way. Or do they want to study the cane? Anyway, they hire these 3 black guys. They come in on his truck. Ralph Angel hears them, grabs his shotgun. He comes out. He fires in the air. They run, and one gets caught. As it turns out, Ralph Angel actually knows this man. He's a man he's a farmer. He's having a hard time on his farm, and the Landrys have offered him money to get information and apparently to steal this cane for whatever reason that is. I mean, it's not like bushels and bushels and bushels of cane, but they see it shows them taking some. Okay, so he explains the situation. His wife's in bad shape, and they're having a very hard time. He can't find work. So Charlie said, okay, tell it to the police. Charlie goes to tell the police. Ralph Angel stops him. He understands he's been in the same position himself. That's why he got involved with robberies, because he was trying to provide for his family and didn't feel like he had any other options. So Ralph Angel is relating to this man, and he lets him go. Okay, catch the one. Next thing happens, Charlie and Ralph Angel all pay a visit to the Landrys. Okay, Charlie gets tough with the Landrys. Just to know they're on to what they're up to, kind of thing. We're gonna fight back. You know, you're gonna fight us all, kind of thing. And she warns him. Of course, Ralph wants to punch somebody, but Charlie does the talking. They have a confrontation. They're basically telling them to back off. Stop what you're doing. It's not going to work. Charlie and Micah move out of, okay. All right, so the last thing I see is Nova is just flirting very heavily with this man, Dr. Dubois. Dr. Dubois. I think it's Dubois. I live on Dubois Street, so I know it's not that. Dr. Dubois. All right, we're going to have to watch that couple. Okay, so that was Queen Sugar season 2, episode 3. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It looks like it, of course, they always give us teasers. It's going to be better next week. But this story does pull you in. So if you're not watching it, I recommend you do. Later.